good.
Yeah, just
Whoever asks
ask
the
a
question.
question.
What was your reaction when you got the news? Hall of Famer.
Just surprised. Wasn't even on the radar. Yeah, it was. I got an email and a text from Coach or Mr. Barnhart's office, and I just couldn't really figure out why they were trying to get a hold of me at the time. And yeah, surprised and just thankful. It was really an honor.
Had you kept in touch though? Had you kept an eye on the Wildcats?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Keep in touch. Watch as much as I can. Don't live here in the state anymore. But yeah, I mean, the way media coverage is today, it's hard not to keep up. And big Wildcat fan, Wildcat for life. So I've kept up, and it was really an honor when I got that call for sure.
How much since the call from Barnhart, have you thought about your college days and kind of relived some of those moments?
Probably more than I'd like to. Both good and bad. Man, it was great. It was really nostalgic. Kind of a weird time in life, you know. Got 2 young children now, so you really do start to like reflect back on some things, and a lot of it came full circle. And yeah, it's been so with COVID, it's been about 18 months now that we're talking about. So yeah, a lot of times to really think back and reflect on a lot of good times for sure.
You're here for a couple of years. You got a lot done. You guys won a lot of games, made
Sure.
an NCAA tournament run. What are your memories? What are your thoughts when you think back on your time here?
Just good memories, good people, great teammates. I was talking to Coach Mingione earlier. We had a really, really good team. Ran into some injuries there in the playoffs. We were talking about it. So I believe we played that regional without Andrew Albers, Chris Russin, and James Paxton, all 3 of them, who are all 3 still pitching in the major leagues right now. So Albers is my age at 35, Russin's a year younger, and James I think is 2 years younger. So those guys to still be doing it into their 30s just shows how good they were and how good we were. Unfortunately, they were injured, ran into a buzzsaw with Arizona there, but nothing but fond memories, no regrets looking back. We had a great time, a lot of great people, and like you said, a lot of great wins, great team, for sure.
Do you keep up with Mingione at all?
Yeah, so keep up. He left after my first year. We circled back and talked a few times, and then when he landed this job, obviously, got back together and started talking more. You know, still kind of a once-a-year thing when he was at Mississippi State, but, you know, with all due respect, he wasn't the Cats coach then, so it was a once-a-year, keep in contact type thing. Glad to have him back. He's done a great job. He was here my first year and then took a promotion and kind of started his journey to get back here. And just what they've done. Today was the first day I got to see Kentucky Proud Park. I mean, my oh my. I'm not gonna lie, I still have a special place in my heart for Cliff Hagan. That place will always be great to me, but man, that new place is really something for sure.
Well, you ran at a lot of walls at Cliff Hagan. You came in here and hit the ground running in doubles.
Yep.
That's what I remember about
Yeah.
you. What do you remember when you got here? You produced immediately.
So first of all, I did produce, but it was in a role that was easy for me to produce. I had a lot of really great guys around me. Sean Coughlin, Antone DeJesus, some guys who had just come off an SEC championship season. They basically kind of just slotted me in between those guys. You know, Colin was around. He was hurt, didn't get to play that year. But just, you know, Russin, Dombrowski, the experience on the mound, I was kind of a plug and play, and that was an attribute to them. I could just kind of come in, didn't have to really weather the storm and take my lumps because they were telling me how to go about it. And yeah, just right place, right time, and it was a lot of fun for sure.
But you also came in and took over at first base for the guy who had only been the SEC Player of the Year, Ryan Strebe.
Yep.
But you produced him, and your batting average is still the best. And like I said, you put up great numbers.
Yeah, so it's something I have thought about. You know, AJ Reed is here with us, and you know, you talk about the progression. You know, Strebe, there wasn't me without Strebe. There might not have been AJ Reed without myself and Antone and Colin. It just, you know, I do see a way to kind of build, that we all kind of build on each other's successes. And, you know, it was just it's a testament to the coaching staff, to the program, to Mr. Barnhart, the whole university. We really did have it rolling, and I think they still got it rolling, that's for sure.
Thank you, Sawyer.
Yeah, thank you guys. Is that everything?
Very good. All right. You guys ready?
Yes, sir. It's good.
So Kenny, talk about, you've had one heck of a year already, but talk about tonight and what tonight means to you to be inducted into the UK Athletics Hall of Fame.
To be here and be inducted with such great athletes, the fact that the University of Kentucky thought that I had the athletic ability, the character that goes along with this, it means the world. To have my family here, to see me in this moment, it's just awesome.
We think about all your career goals, and you probably listed them out when you were younger. Being in your school's Hall of Fame, was that one of them?
It really wasn't. To be in my Hall of Fame is just crazy to me when you really think of how many athletes come through this university, and to be amongst the top. It just shows that all the hard work and the dedication that I put into this craft and everything that the university had to offer, I was able to excel, and that means the world to me.
When you look back at your time at UK, do you look back at it obviously fondly, but are there things you like to remember? You're like, oh, that was great, that was awesome when we were in the moment?
Yeah, I think winning my first NCAA title indoors in the 60-meter hurdles, that was like my first moment where I'm like, wow, I think I can go far in this sport. And, it took Coach Flo to see that in me because I lacked confidence. It's hard to come to the college level and to do well. And so once my confidence came, I feel like the rest of the season went as well as I planned. So, yeah.
What was this last year like for you?
This last year, to make my first Olympic team, that was my number one goal. That was my number one dream. And to miss the Olympics in 2016, it was so devastating in the moment, but I was able to dig deeper, and my coach was still right by my side even when I was not able to do well in 2016, but I still came away with the world record that year. And this year I was able to go and represent my country and bring home a medal, so I couldn't be happier.
What was that experience like being over there?
It was my first one, so I don't really have anything to go off of. I thought it was awesome. You go in the cafeteria and you're just looking at everyone and you're like, these are all Olympians, and you try to guess their sports and stuff. So it was kind of fun. For me, I'm a very serious athlete, so I didn't really do much of the socializing and stuff just because of COVID as well. But that experience was one of a million. I loved it.
It's got to be great momentum going into 2022, right?
Oh yeah, to have the outdoor world championships here on American soil, it's going to be an amazing time. I feel like the times are only going to get faster, so to have that opportunity to see how well I can continue to do, that's all I want.
Did you take a break off at all, kind of after,
I
catch back your
did.
energy up a little?
Yes, I took a vacation to Greece after the Olympics. It was great. I went with my best friend, Jenna. And I had 5 to 6 weeks off, which is a lot normally than what I normally do, just because we do have outdoor world championships in the Olympics. So the next 3 years are going to be a lot, but I'm looking forward to it.
How's that going to be different than maybe the last 3 or 4 years for you?
I think everything's just going to happen quick. The fact that indoor is right around the corner and I'm trying to defend my indoor title, things are just going to happen really quick, and I just got to be prepared for them.
Kentucky did really well, the university as a whole throughout the Olympics. Just what was that like being a part of that?
I'm glad that a Wildcat was able to beat me to gold. It made it a little bit okay. Jasmine's a great athlete. And then just to be able to represent our country, our university, UK, that all of us were hurdlers, and we started right here. It was amazing. Sydney did awesome to break multiple world records like she did. I hope we put Kentucky on the map.
Sounds like it's the place to be now for Olympic athletes.
Yeah, it is.
Just your reaction when you got the call, Hall of Fame right here.
Yeah, well, it was a year and a half ago, I guess now. I got a couple texts asking if I had some free time, and I didn't really have any idea about it, so it was really cool to get that phone call, and obviously very honored. I love UK and I love my time here, and to be recognized as a Hall of Famer is really exciting.
Did you think your collegiate trophy case was full and done? And it's pretty full.
It's really cool to have that honor and add that to the collection, and it's not something that you can do without your teams, especially baseball, being the team sport that it is. So, you gotta give thanks to all those guys and the coaches for the opportunity and letting me be here and be a part of it.
probably had a list of goals when you were growing up. Was being in the UK Hall of Fame one of them?
I wouldn't say that specifically, but this is a great school for sports and for academics, and to be considered somebody to be in the Hall of Fame for this school is really awesome.
Your life when you left here was kind of a whirlwind, pro baseball and all that. How many times, if at all, have you had a chance to sit back and think about what you accomplished here the last year? Pretty good season.
Yeah, it was a great season. It was a ton of fun. We had a great group of guys. It was so much fun to be able to experience it with those guys, and we played great baseball. Whenever I get together with some guys from the team, we like to reflect on it and tell some stories, and it was just a really good experience for all of us.
Does your mind ever go back to Gary, Indiana? I mean, that whole bizarre situation. Why you all even had to go there, and then what happened up there and all?
Yeah, I've talked about it with some of the guys that were there that year, and especially guys in my class that was our freshman year, and we just we'll talk about it here and there, and definitely felt like we shouldn't have been there, and then to have it end the way it did, and begin the way it did, 21 inning game. So. It's fun now to be able to tell stories about it.
Have you been up in the new ballpark, and have you seen that big picture of A.J. Reed up there?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I came down last.
Oh yeah, we saw you there.
Last spring, for Alabama series.
Yeah.
Got to see Bo and take a little tour of the stadium and stuff. So yeah,
And?
It's a great stadium. It's not the Cliff, but it's a great stadium. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
What was your reaction when you got the call or email or text or whatever?
Well, I actually got tricked. Neely said they were doing an interview for former players, and that they just want to get like my opinion on something. And then they broke the news to me. I was just like, what? That was weird because you don't expect it. You never expect it. But it's absolute blessing.
As a guy who grew up in this area, what does it mean to you to be a part of the Hall of Fame of the school that you grew up so close to?
It can't express, words can't express. It's just to have, an accomplishment like that in this city, around my friends and family and my kids are gonna plan on having eventually. They say, "Oh, Dad did that," So it's I just can't explain how happy I am to receive this honor.
It'll make it a little easier to tell those kids how good you were when you can point to a Hall of Fame.
Oh, 100%. It's like, that was me. That's all me right now.
You were part of a great turnaround here for Kentucky football. What did that mean to you? And again, being a local guy.
I feel like Lexington is just better when the football team is doing well, and I find that true with a lot of cities that I've been in. After that, like during that transition, to get that program starting, and and to see where it is now. Oh my gosh, I am just excited for this program for Kentucky and like their future, because it's just looking so bright, and Stoops is doing an absolute wonderful job with their team.
Is that something you expected to see from this program? You were kind of part of the group that helped it get to this point, but did you ever think they'd be in this position?
From after I left and talking to the guys when Stoops came in, the things that they would say about him and how they would talk about him just made me a believer. Like, you wouldn't hear one bad thing about the guy, and just from hearing, you can tell that he was a guy that really believed in his players, and his players just had his back. And so it didn't surprise me one bit that they are where they are now.
How about that offensive line then?
Oh my gosh. No, I love watching that offensive line. You got some dogs up there. I don't know their names specifically, but I watch, and that's how I watch football. I just watch offensive line. I can't care about interception passes, but when I watch the offensive line, man, they are dogs, and it'd been fun to play with them, man. They got some real warriors up there.
What do you think of the nickname?
The nickname?
Blue Wall.
Oh my gosh! What else are you gonna call it, man? This is what it is. This is a perfect name. Lucky? Yeah, but no, those guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job, and they're a joy to watch. You know?
A little closer.
There. Do I look at the camera?
Just that
Whoever's talking.
Okay, perfect. To say it's already falling off.
Well, when you got the call a year and a half ago or whenever it was that you were going to be a part of the UK Athletics Hall of Fame, what was that moment like for you?
It was pure shock. I never imagined that call would come. And I didn't believe it at first, and it took a while for it to sink in, but it was an absolutely incredible experience. Yeah.
What does it mean to you this weekend for this all to happen and for you to actually become a Hall of Famer?
I'm not sure I have the words. I'm not much of a talker to begin with, so I think it's hard for me to put into words what this experience means to me. My time at Kentucky was the best time of my life, and I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat. And so I don't know if I have the words, but it just means the world to me.
What was it like to be a part of this program as it's grown individually?
Coach Lawson is phenomenal. Coach Himes is phenomenal. I think the staff is phenomenal with Molly and Brittany too. And so just to be a part of it is great. It's great to see them continue to grow and continue to be a powerhouse each and every single year.
You're kind of a part of that beginning of kind of getting that tournament run going and everything like that. Did you foresee them sustaining that and keeping it going? And how they are now?
You always hope so, and you know the recruits that you have coming in after you. And so, Kelsey Nunley coming in as the pitcher after I graduated, she was phenomenal, led them to the World Series. And so after that, her freshman year leading them to the Super Regionals, you knew that there was a bright future for this program.
It's not really a shock now when they make the Supers. I don't know if it's expected.
Yeah.
But that's quite a leap, isn't it?
Yes, it's absolutely expected. Yeah.
What happened to you after you left here?
I went to Marshall, and I'm an assistant coach. I was there for 4 years at Marshall University, and now I'm at Indiana University as the pitching coach there.
I was gonna say though, when you do have a chance to watch this team, is it easier to watch as a fan than it is to watch as a player sometimes?
I don't get to watch a whole lot of games since
Yeah.
we're in season 2, but it's nothing but pride when I do get to watch. It's a little hard recruiting against Kentucky because we're kind of recruiting against the same kids, but it's really exciting, and it's pride when I see them play.
Thank you.
I don't know. I used to like you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us what this means to you this weekend to be inducted into the
Oh, it's
UK
pretty exciting. I've probably been at UK longer than anybody except for maybe Bob Bradley or maybe Bill Kitely, but I've loved every minute of it. And so I'm pretty excited because a lot of my former players are coming tonight. I mean, one from Florida, one from Texas, one from, and I was excited because of that more than anything.
I was going to say, how much have you been able to reflect and kind of go down memory lane?
Oh yeah,
with your
I
time?
pulled out all the scrapbooks and I looked through them and I said, okay, we're having a little thing tomorrow for the former players. Golda was very nice and she scheduled it, and so I'm going to take the scrapbooks and I'm going to say, okay, look through these and take any pictures you want. Yeah, it's fun.
When Mitch Barnhart, I'm assuming, called you a year and a half
He
ago or
came
so?
to the house.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of
I
surprise?
was like, well, what happened was that Golda, the golf coach, had said that she wanted me to go to lunch because we hadn't talked to each other, and she wanted to tell me about what had been going on with the girls' golf team. And I said, oh, that'd be great. So she came, and we were just kind of chatting, sitting in our den, and all of a sudden, the front door opened, TV cameras came. And I'm like, oh, geez. So he did. He was very nice and came there and told me in person. Nice guy. I kind of liked him.
Sure.
What did you think of the fact that the top U.S. amateur was
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about that.
standing on your shoulder?
Oh gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, and I watched every minute I could. Every minute, I was just trying to watch it. Nice girl too, nice girl. And she really helps our team, and the team's doing well.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
I was going to ask, you kind of keep up with them still?
Yeah, I do. I go to at least one tournament in the spring and one in the fall.
Okay.
And it's on GolfStat, so you can always watch it, and then I always text that night if it's good. If it's not good, I don't text.
That's good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dick.
First of all, just tell us what it was like. I guess it's probably been a year and a half ago or so when you got the call that you're going to be in the UK Athletics Hall of Fame.
Gotcha.
But I'll hold it.
Okay, thank you. So for me, it was this past summer. I was in the 2021 class, so the last one, and I have to admit, Tony gave me a little bit of he holds his cards close to his chest, is how I described him. Tony called me and said, hey, Mitch Barnhart wants to give you a phone call. He wants to the sports marketing department wants to ask you a few questions about your time at UK. And so I was expecting to do a little bit of an interview, and Mitch Barnhart starts right out of the gates with, hey, it's not me, it's a selection committee, and they've all met and voted, and congratulations, we want to put you in the Hall of Fame. And I had no idea it was coming, so well done to Tony Neely for hiding that one from me, but surprised.
And I'm sure when you were here at UK, that wasn't something that was on your mind. Is one day I'll be a Hall of Famer?
You know, no, absolutely not. In fact, when I was here at UK, I didn't know there was this Hall of Fame for athletics. And my focus here at school was just to do the best I could. It was to focus on athletics and focus on academics and I knew it was a very limited time frame that we had to work with, 4 years or maybe 5 years, and then it was done. You don't get any do-overs, and so I just try to make the most out of that one opportunity.
Do you think back to that time at Kentucky a lot?
Oh, I do, yeah. And so being in the middle of this event tonight has forced me to go back to a lot of memories, and and I'll mention a little bit when I give a little bit of appreciation for the award is a lot of things learned through athletics. There's so many life lessons that you pick up, and those things have helped me throughout the rest of my career. So I think sports are great, whatever sport it is, and there's if it's done the right way, there's so many great values and morals you can take away from it.
Good. All right. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.